Start some Guardians, Bull. I have nothing to say. Good.
Yeah, another bad game yesterday. And Jason, you and I have remained confident in this team, but it's getting hard.
Yeah.
They're in some trouble now.
Yeah.
I thought Shane. I wanted to call him Shane Baber. I thought Tanner Bybee was pitching really well. He'd given up the 1 run, but he'd only given up 1 hit going into the 5th inning. In fact, there was only 1 base runner going into the 5th inning. He seems to just have too many games where he has an inning where he just craters. We see this quite a bit with him.
Yeah.
And it happened again last night in the 5th inning where he gives up the 3 runs and he just falls apart. And I don't know. I mean, are the pitchers feeling the pressure of the lack of offense? Is that factoring in? Maybe,
It
but
has to a degree.
I guess it's when
you feel like if you give up 2 runs, you lost the game.
I was listening to an interview with the Cubs pitcher, and I'm bringing up the Cubs because it will relate back to the Guardians. Cubs pitcher Shota Imanaga, who's Japanese, so it was through a translator, and he had been pitching really well, but he didn't have a good game yesterday. He got knocked out early. But he said through his translator that the Cubs have, I think, they're second in the majors in runs scored behind the Nationals of all teams, believe it or not. And he said that because he knows his team scores a lot of runs, it allows him to be more aggressive with his pitching. He's more aggressive in the strike zone because he knows that if he makes a mistake, which he did, he gave up a couple home runs yesterday, but he knows that the team can make up for it. And they did, and the Cubs won the game 8-6. And so when you're a pitcher on the Guardians, you've got to feel the opposite. You've got to feel like I got to nibble more. I got to be extra careful because most of the time my offense is not going to be able to make up if I make a mistake, and that puts a level of pressure. Now you can say, well, it's been the case for a number of years, and it hasn't affected guys. Well, that's probably true, but eventually it builds up on you when it gets worse and worse. And if other things are not going great, because the bullpen's not as good as it's been in other years. The defense hasn't been as good as it's been in other years, base running. And so now other things are not as good, and you wonder if some of these pitchers are feeling the pressure, and it's negatively affecting them.
I really thought the moves to the trade deadline would be a boost to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It usually is.
And I like the moves, and those guys have both done a pretty good job.
I did too.
Adele hit a home run last night.
And I think they've won 1 game since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
1. It's really hard to explain how you get the pieces that you need, you get lineup reinforcement, and I mean, Lowe and Adele have been fine.
Yeah.
I forgot the pitcher's name. He got hit around.
Forrest Griffin. He's pitching today.
Got beat up in his first start.
He's back on the mound today.
Yoho's been not good.
Yeah.
But the hitters have been that's what they needed most.
Yeah.
And they haven't made a difference. They just can't come up with key hits at big times.
And what's been weird is there have been a few games lately where they've scored 4 or more runs, and in those games they pitch poorly.
Yeah.
And then the games where they pitch well, it seems like they can't hit at all those days.
Yeah, I was talking to Zach Meisel before the season, and we both said one of these years they're just due to have a 80, 70, 75. Everything always goes their way.
Right.
One of these days there's going to be regression to the mean, and they're going to have a 75-win season.
And it looked like it was going to be last year, and then they had that miracle comeback. But you can't expect that.
Yep.
Mike said it yesterday. You're right.
And the maddening part is I still look at this lineup and go, I like the lineup.
I like it on paper more than any lineup they've had for a number of years.
I totally agree. And they can't score.
They can't score.
It's so weird because all right, Quan, fine. He obviously had a horrible start. But
he's playing well now.
Bazana, obviously Hosey.
DeLauder hit another home run.
Adele
and Lowe are solid additions.
So you look at the lineup and you go, why is this not working?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Where are they in runs scored, Mike? Do you know? They got to be
30
bottom
seconds,
5.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, they got to be bottom 5 in runs scored, I would think.
Definitely bottom 10.
It's just so hard. It's just the rest of the team at this point, if they don't do a better job
of 28th in runs scored and 1 run ahead of Toronto, who's 29th.
Jeez. I mean, that's bad.
That is just brutal.
Give me a stat. I got the whole.
But I mean, just look at right there. You just mentioned Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto's in the World Series. I almost won the World Series.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I thought the Mariners were going to make a World Series run.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
The 3 lowest OPSs in baseball as a team. Toronto 30, Seattle 29, Cleveland 28.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have a good explanation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very frustrating to watch because they've been hitting better. They just can't. They cannot hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
Do you have I'd love to know their OPS with runners in scoring position.
I'll see if I can find it.
They've got to be last in baseball. OPS with runners in scoring position.
So.
They seem to never get a clutch hit. They're getting base runners on.
Well, you talk about the pressure of pitchers. I'm sure that's going on at the plate now
with some guys. And here's the thing:
guys.
Tom Hamilton was on. I don't know where he was on.
It was on some radio interview.
Yeah, he did an interview recently.
He played it on the Fan this morning.
Yeah, and he said, "Don't."
I heard it.
Expect. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
He basically said like you're not going to see vintage Jose this year. Right. Like he will not even be close to what you expect out of him until next year because of the hammy.
Yeah. And he plays through things. That's why he comes back.
Yeah, he's playing hurt right now, and he's struggling, but he has no pop and no power.
Yeah, the injury affects power.
Yep.
We knew that, and he won't hit 20 home runs this year.
No.
I got your stat.
Yeah.
I was able to find it.
Okay.
What do you think Cleveland's OPS is with runners in scoring position?
I would say 630, and that may be high.
Or you mean where they're ranked, or what they're?
Either. I'm on Pro Baseball Reference.
I think I'm high.
No, really?
Jason, you're low.
I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say 670.
They rank 29th out of 30 teams.
Yeah.
They're only ahead of the Kansas City Royals with a team OPS with runners in scoring position of 677.
Oh, I almost nailed it.
Real close.
That's in 947 plate
that's horrible.
At bats.
Yeah. For a
team,
team,
947 at bats.
What's the league average for a team? It's got to be like 730, 740.
There's 30 teams, so league average 748.
How do you know it's 748?
I picked the 15th team.
Oh, but that's not
That's
average.
the median. But that's fine.
Still, it's probably not far from that.
Yeah.
It's higher than I knew it would be higher than the individual average.
They don't have a...
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Whatever. It's in the 670 something is horrible. Horrible. Yeah. Obviously, it's 29th.
Yeah.
The Dodgers lead Major League Baseball with a 797. Minnesota, number 2 in baseball, 793.
They've been clutch.
Yep.
That's why you look at their roster. It doesn't look that good, but they've been clutch. Who else is in the top there?
I'll give you the top 5 real quick. Dodgers, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Houston, and the Rays.
All playoff teams except for maybe Minnesota. Oh no. Is Houston, are they leading their division now? I don't even remember. That division's so bad too.
Yes.
I think they're leading the Central.
I think they are.
And the rest of give me the rest of the top 10, Mike. Is it all playoff teams?
Houston is a half game up now. Okay. Rest of the top 10, 6 Padres, 7 Rockies. Definitely not a playoff team.
Wow.
8 Milwaukee, 9 Baltimore, 10 Atlanta.
I can't believe the Cubs are not in the top 10. How are they second in runs scored?
Baltimore
not in the top 10 in OPS.
Cubs are 14th with a 755 OPS. A bunch of them are really close together. 2 or 3 points separates.
Yeah.
14 and 9. You're separated by basically
gotcha.
Nothing, so,
but most of the teams in the top 14 are playoff teams, right? The teams that are near the top.
Yes.
2 in the top 10 are anomalies.
I mean, I'll give you the bottom real quick. This is 20 through 30.
Yeah.
Detroit, San Francisco, the Yankees, the Cardinals, Blue Jays, Mets, Mariners, Angels, Reds, Guardians, and Royals.
I mean, outside of the Yankees, those are all terrible teams. Shows how unclutched the Yankees have been.
Jay might be right. Tigers might win this division. He might be right.
Nah.
They're what, 3 back?
No.
They've been playing great.
I don't believe in them.
You're just nervous he's right.
Jay's never right, except for Baker. I don't want him to win now.
They're 2.5 out.
Jay does everything prisoner of the moment. He should not win.
Well, picking Detroit to win the division is not prisoner of the moment.
Well, he picked them when they were sizzling hot.
No, he picked them when they were like 10 out.
No.
Yes.
No, they had gotten hot.
No, he picked them when they were 9 out.
Yeah, but they had gotten hot. They had been hot, and they still had Scooble at the time.
That is true.
I mean, still.
Why would you pick them when they were playing terrible?
That's 9 out.
Because he thought they were the best team in the division. You might be right. He liked the lineup.
They could win. I mean, listen, anybody. The division stinks.
Yeah.
Outside of Kansas City, anybody can win the division.
It'd be hilarious.
Are you giving up faith in the Guardians Bowl?
No, I'm not giving up, but I'm not as confident.
I'm selling some of my.
Yeah, you got to sell some of your stock. Listen, it's now or never. They got to turn it around the next week.
I thought they needed to take 2 or 3 from Detroit, and then they lose the opener.
What's the pitching? And they had a big edge in the pitching matchup yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's Foster Griffin versus Framber Valdez.
Valdez has been up and down. A little bit better lately.
Yeah.
But Griffin needs a big start here.
Yeah, Valdez is a bit of a head case. Good pitcher. Anyway. I traded for Joey Cantillo in my
They gonna win tonight, Bull?
I need him to get it done. I have no faith that the Guardians are going to win tonight. No, I can't pick them. I would. They're a stay away from me right now.
I'll pick them because I thought they needed to win 2 or 3 in the series, so I have to pick them.
Okay.
To hang around,
It's
they better
maddening.
take 2 or 3. I mean, if they lose,
maddening.
So frustrating.
if they lose another one in this series, now they're what 5.5 up out.
Well,
right?
it depends what the White Sox do.
Yeah. What are the standings again?
I mean, look at that. You know,
man, 5.
They're 4 out, 5 in the loss column to Chicago. Yeah. I can't believe the White Sox are in first place, 4 games over 500. It's just insane.
What a crappy division.
Yeah. And the West, too.